Good evening. This is the 18 WJTS News. I'm Charlotte Olson. The 200-foot tower located behind our studios here at DC Broadcasting here in Jasper was dismantled earlier today. The tower built by Du Bois REC was used for two-way communication to REC workers working in Du Bois, Orange, and Crawford counties. Many will remember the star that hung from the tower during the Christmas season for many years. Those who commuted to Jasper from the north, south, and west can remember seeing the star in the east as they came into the city. The property was purchased by Nimjo Holdings and Du Bois County Broadcasting in 2012. Many thanks goes to Ackerman Oil, the City of Jasper Utilities, Fisher Electric, and also a thanks goes to Phil Schulteis. An Illinois man landed in the Du Bois County Security Center over the weekend, and he did land his spot in there after he first crashed his motorbike near a Northside Jasper intersection. He then attempted to leave the scene and eventually got into a physical altercation with authorities, all the while being under the influence of both alcohol and drugs. Jasper police say that around 5:15 Saturday afternoon, 41-year-old Nathan Jones of Herring, Illinois, crashed his motorcycle along Newton Street, south of Sheeter Road. Police also say that Jones tried to leave the area on his bike, but a trooper with the Indiana State Police, who was off duty at the time, arrived shortly after the crash, and after he identified himself to Jones, they say that Jones still attempted to leave the area. The trooper then took the keys out of the motorcycle, and it was then Jones who allegedly got off the bike and began to push the trooper. Soon after the altercation, additional officers arrived on scene, and Jones was soon placed under arrest. Jones admitted to authorities that he had been drinking prior to this accident. Police say officially his alcohol content measured in at 0.13%, and they also say that he tested positive for THC. Police also found out that Jones did not have a valid driver's license, and he was taken to and booked into the Du Bois County Security Center on preliminary charges of battery on law enforcement, resisting law enforcement, driving while suspended, and also charges of operating while intoxicated. The Jasper Police Department were assisted at the scene by the Indiana State Police. A Jasper man who was no longer welcomed at the Jasper Walmart store because of a past incident was placed under arrest on a pair of charges, including charges for felony theft after he was accused of filling his pockets with store items late Saturday night. Just minutes before midnight Saturday, officers with the Jasper Police Department were summoned to the North Side residence and also the Supercenter by a member of the store's asset protection team. They were summoned after they reportedly saw 55-year-old Mark Sanders of Jasper possibly sticking items within his pockets. Police say that Sanders, who had earlier been ordered by the court to not trespass at the Walmart store, was confronted by a member of the store's asset protection team at the door, but refused to speak to him. Police found Sanders on foot several minutes later in the store's vicinity. They say he made an attempt to take a Samsung cell phone valued at nearly $85, and he was taken to and booked into the Du Bois County Security Center on a level 6 felony count of theft. Police say the charges were elevated to a felony status because of previous convictions. He was also booked as a misdemeanor count of criminal trespassing. Winning results of the 2017 Huntingburg Herbst Fest Parade, which was held yesterday on Sunday, have officially been released. Best Walking Unit went to Alisi, the Association of Latin Americans in Southern Indiana. The Best Float was the Salem United Church of Christ, commemorating their 175th anniversary. The Queen's Choice was the Southridge Cheerleaders. Best Car Unit, a T-Bird from the Huntingburg Kiwanis Club. The Grand Marshal Award went to the Rosenvolk German Medieval Festival. The Mayor's Choice Award went to the Central Christian Church, and the Best Fire Apparatus went to the Huntingburg Volunteer Fire Department's 1972 Old Betsy fire truck. Other results from the weekend included the barbecue contest winners, Always Smokin', and Something with Bill Hedinger of Birdseye came in at first place with Getting Piggy with it, with Tristan Solb of Vincennes placing in second for the barbecue contest. Another reminder that officials with the City of Huntingburg are planning a groundbreaking ceremony for tomorrow before they commence construction on the new Market Street Park project. The newly planned park project will be located east of the Huntingburg Old Town Hall between 3rd and 4th Streets. Once completed, the park will have many features such as a plaza with tables and seating, a long terrace with seating, a performance pavilion, a terrace with seating, a market pavilion with a walkway and curbless parking on either side, a walkway that will be called a legacy court, a legacy wall, a south lawn, and a ring-shaped walkway that will have features like a pergola and community swings. The park's $4 million cost will be covered by the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs Community Development Block Grant money, which is appointed to the Huntingburg through the Stellar Communities designation, and through local tax incremental funds, economic development income taxed funds, and private monies committed by local partners. At this time, the area has been closed off to the public and will remain so till the project is officially completed come sometime next summer. But Tuesday's ribbon cutting ceremony is set for 10 a.m. on the 4th Street side. Harvest season is among us, with Indiana farmers working hard to provide for food and for fuel for our state. And with the increased activity of harvesting Hoosier crops comes additional farm equipment and machinery on the roads and an increased risk of accidents and injuries. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, farm equipment vehicles were involved in 87 fatal crashes across the country last year alone. District 48 State Senator Mark Messmer of Jasper says that with more than half of these fatal crashes happening in rural areas, drivers should stay alert as some farm machines need extra space on the roadway and to also travel at slower speeds.
The Indiana State Police and the Indiana Department of Agriculture offer several safety tips for motorists and farmers to keep in mind while driving this fall. Some of the tips for farmers include having all lighting and placards on your vehicles as required by law, avoiding travel on highway during rush hour traffic, and wearing high visibility reflective clothing when working in order to be seen by motorists and fellow workers.
Messmer says another reminder to farmers that Indiana law also requires farmers to move their slow-moving equipment over to the right if more than 3 vehicles are backed up behind them on a state highway, and to let those vehicles pass.
Tips for motorists include being patient when traveling behind farm equipment, being cautious when approaching farm equipment that's parked on the side of the road, not passing when you're in a no-passing zone or within 100 feet of an intersection, and ensuring there's adequate distance to safely pass.
Everyone is asked to please stay alert this harvest season and to follow these tips to keep rural roads safe for farmers and for motorists. As always, please feel free to contact Mark Messmer's office directly with your questions and concerns by email at senator.messmer@iga.in.gov or phone at 800-382-9467. And keep it right here, except next we're going to take a look at your weather summary.